Go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Okay. See what it feels like to find an alignment in your spine that feels really good in your body. And so don't hesitate to kind of move around a little bit to wiggle and sway and swish until you find that, oh, yeah, this is how my posture feels best. And once you have that ground, see if you can feel into your sit bones and let them drop into the earth. As you settle your awareness and your attention into your pelvis, imagine that your pelvic bowl is, like becoming an ocean, that you're just really broad and wide, with this very stable and expansive support. Allow your breath to move down and wide. Notice maybe how your mobility or lack of mobility feels right now in your diaphragm. Let's do that, breathing like we've done before, where we find that zone one first, where we expand our belly and diaphragm. And then zone two, where we let the rib cage open up. And then just touch the collarbones gently and then let the exhale come. Start to feel this wave of breath. Start to feel that the exhales can be very patient and slow. There's no rush. All right, now see if you can keep this rhythm pace moving. So even as we adjust and do other things, see if you can stay connected to the harmony and peace, nurturance of that breath. Place your hands together at your heart and bow in. So offer an intention for your practice. What is this weather, these gray skies and the moisture? Can you draw that into yourself and let it be like you're drinking up something supportive and nurturing? And let that hold whatever your intention is, saturating you. Release the hands. And let's find our way onto our back. So if you didn't hear me before, you need your squishy ball today, plus all your props, straps, blocks, there's blankets, whatever you have access to. So let's start by lying down on our backs. Feeling a big stretch. You can lengthen through your arms if it feels good. Lengthening your arms overhead. Finding a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Go ahead and stretch through your limbs, reaching the right side a little bit longer, reaching the left side a little bit longer. Just opening up the channels of your side bodies. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. Rocking a little bit, swaying from side to side. Circle the knees, rolling in one direction 2 or 3 times. And rolling in the other direction 2 or 3 times. Just feeling into your hips and your sacrum. And then open up the knees, bring them away from the midline and then toward the midline. Breathing well. Right knee into the chest, left leg long on the ground. Reconnect with your breath. Relax your shoulders and your skull. And let's move around in your ankles and your feet. Find that sense of opening. Waking up all the fascia.
In your lower legs and feet, switch sides when you're ready. Left knee hugging in, right leg on the ground. Free to move your feet around, rolling through your ankles, wiggling through your toes. Give a good squeeze into that knee, let your head relax, and then bring both knees back in toward the chest. And let's come into happy baby pose. Grab onto your feet, let the back of your body open up a little bit more. Feel free to move around in this posture. So you can round the spine a bit and then drop the tailbone and then lift it up and drop the tailbone just to get into the feeling of your hip joints and your pelvis. You can rock a little bit left and right if that feels good. All right, now holding on to either your feet or your legs somewhere, let's open the legs out like a V. So opening up the inner thighs a little bit, relax your head down. And release your legs. Stretch to a star, a big wide open posture, rolling through your ankles, rolling through your wrists. Take another deep breath in, or stretch out wide, and on your exhale, knees into your chest, head comes up around the spine. Twice more, opening up your body, feeling that expansion through your limbs. As you exhale, the knees draw in and the head comes up. One more time, expand open. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep the breath moving. All right, let's see what it feels like to drop your feet down onto the ground. Windshield wiper your knees just to get a little bit of mobility in your side waists a little bit. Start to open up the spine. And now a more complete twist. Move your hips over to the right, knees come up, drop your knees over to the left, and open up your chest here. Breathe deeply, let your body relax into the floor, melt a bit. And pick up your knees. Scoot your hips over to the other side, knees come up and drop to the right. Open up your chest, finding breath. You can stay connected with that breath rhythm as best as you can. All right, come back to a neutral spine for a moment. We're just going to do a couple of bridge raises, nice and easy. Feet are grounded on the floor. If you want to, you can move your arms too. So the hips come up, the arms might come overhead, and then the hips can lower down and the arms can lower down. You don't have to move your arms. If you'd rather just do the pose with your lower body, just do the pose with your lower body. So your choice. Moving through breath is waking up some of the muscles in our legs a little bit. Opening up the spine. Last time. Finding your breath. Relax that back down. Okay, let's roll over onto our side and come up onto our hands and our knees. And as we start to move through some cat-cows, let's enjoy. So arching and rounding the spine, taking your time, noticing your vertebrae, breathing deeply and fully. Let's go ahead and swivel about. So sway your hips to and fro, side to side, circles, staying in some cat-cows, whatever feels good. Just let your body open up in the way that feels best. Don't forget you have a head that you can move around as well. And then curl the toes under and stretch back towards child's pose with your toes curled under. So you're just opening up the bottom of your feet. Spread open your palms as well. And then relax your feet and stretch back to a more neutral child's pose. Take your arms out in front of you if it feels good. Breathing well. Walk the hands over to the left side of your mat and find the reach through the right side of your body. Feeling that weight come down into the pelvis again. Find the neutral breath where we're just feeling that belly expand, the ribs expand, and then the slow exhale. Come back to center. Walk your hands over to the other side and enjoy the opening of your intercostal muscles on this side. Can you feel the ribs open? Can you drop some weight into your hips? Can you relax your neck? Come back to center. Come up onto all fours again. Let's find our twist. Reaching that right arm up in the air. Exhale. Slide that arm underneath. Enjoy the twisting of your spine. Open up the back of the rib cage. Breathe into the full circumference of your ribs. Inhale, reach that arm back up. Hand comes down onto the ground. Second side. Lift your arm. Exhale, slide that arm under. Twisting the body. Breathing well. You're ready to come out of there. Go ahead and lift the arm. Find breath. Hand comes down onto the ground. Dog pose. So lift up. Drop some weight into your feet. Feel free to pedal your feet a little bit if it feels nice to do so, or you can rock into one foot and then rock into the next. Bending your knee, letting your calves open, your Achilles, your feet, your hamstrings. And then find some stillness in this posture. Feel into the length of your spine. Lift sit bones, drop heels, spread toes. Feel into the inversion. So we talked a little bit and did some inversions yesterday. Can you feel how good it is to have your head below your heart, the restfulness in the brain? All right, walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana, fold. Okay, feel into a little bit of a shimmy in your pelvis or head or spine. Inhale for a halfway lift. Open up the backs of your legs, stretch your back, the backs of your knees, and relax and melt. Soften your knees, let your head relax down. Rising up, coming to the sky with your arms, reaching the arms up. Extend open through your heart, cactus your chest if it feels good. Reach the arms up again. Grab onto the right wrist with the left hand. We're going to come up and over to the side, just feeling that sense of awakening in the side body again. Back to center, over to the other side. More time, cactus the arms, squeeze the back body. Let's bring our hands straight out to the sides, fingers pointing straight up. Spread your palms wide, drop the shoulders down. Let's just do a couple of little circles with our arms, kind of let the zing kind of arrive into your nerves in your hands. And then stillness, shoulders down, palms facing the walls, fingers up. Lift one ear. Back to center, lift the other ear. Back to center, relax and shake out your hands. Just give them a good shake. Interlace your hands behind your back, open your chest, bend your knees, and float forward. Let your arms leave your spine wherever they comfortably go. And then relax your arms, grab onto your elbows, and just hang for a moment. Let your ribs kind of shimmy away from your pelvis. Relax your neck. And one more time, standing on up. Arms to the sky. Cross your left arm over your right arm. Drop the shoulders, lift the elbows and pull the elbows away from your chest a little bit and just enjoy. Breathe into the stretch that you're feeling here. Switch sides, other arm on top, shoulders down, chest up, breathing well. See if you can feel that the breath is landing in your rib cage, under your armpits, all around. And relax your hands down. Maybe give them a shake again. Arms all the way up. Big breath. Exhale. Swan dive forward. Relax your head. A halfway lift. Spine is growing. Melt and fold. Step your left foot back, right foot forward into a lunge, finding your breath. And start to move here, bending and straightening the front knee, or just feeling into the mobility of our legs, our hips, as well as the freedom in our breath. Where do you want to inhale? Where do you want to exhale? No right way to breathe, just breathe. And I should say there's no right place to breathe. All right, you can put your knee down on the ground if it's comfy. Open up the hip flexors of that back leg. Reach the arm up in the air. Let's cross the forearm or the elbow to the outer knee and stretch open to a twist. Hug to the midline. Stay very stable with your core, your legs. Feel your inner thighs kick in. Feel the stretch through your spine. And then relax and bring your body, the hands back down onto the blocks. Lift your back knee up off the ground. The only standing pose we'll do today, rise up, crescent lunge, arms to the sky. That might not be true. I might throw in one more. Okay, release the hands down onto the ground, back foot comes forward, fold. A halfway lift. And melts the other way. So now our left foot is forward, right foot is back. When I do restoratives, I think it's really important to do a little bit of practice awakening and opening all the parts of the body so that you're alive and embedded within your body, you're embodied a little bit more. So when you come into the restoratives, it's a little easier to rest within the body instead of the chasey mind. So let's go ahead and move here, bending and straightening the knee, feeling into the rhythm of your breath. Every touch point you make in your body, enjoy what you're feeling. Try to enjoy embodiment, enjoy breath. Moving slowly enough where you can savor what you're feeling. Let's place the knee down onto the ground. Open up the hip flexors on that back leg. And you can climb up onto your knee, reach the right arm up in the air. Maybe a little side bend feels good. Maybe you just enjoy lifting up. And we'll find a twist, forearm or elbow on that knee. It's very easy to collapse. Let's support our low back. Use your core, lift your spine, use your legs. Press your feet into the or foot into the ground. Hug your inner thighs toward the midline. How's that belly thorax breath now? Relax. Come back to a lunge. Lift your back knee up off the ground. Find your legs. Rising up to crescent lunge when you feel ready. Opening up the chest, finding breath, extending your heart, breathing well. And then hands come down onto the ground, dog pose. Feel that long, spacious spine. Okay, come forward into a plank. Hold yourself here for just a moment. Feel the aliveness in your center. And the knees can come down, find the ground. Roll the shoulders. When you're ready, turn it into a cobra pose, big open heart. Exhale and melt back down. Let's repeat. Rising up. On the exhale, lowering down. Move the props out of the way if they are in your way. Take your left knee up high toward your chest. Feel into that hip. We're going to turn this into a twist. So cross your right arm to the left side of your mat. Open up, lay back onto your back, backs of the hands on the ground. Let your knee leave the floor. Open across your chest. Coming back to center. Change sides, other knee comes up. Finding your breath, enjoy the hips. And we're gonna cross the left arm over to the right and swing open into a twist on this side. Backs of hands on the ground, let your knee leave the floor as much as you need to. Head is heavy. Relax, coming back to center. Come up onto all fours. Breathing through the spine. Find dog pose. Enjoy the inversion again. Feel that sense of the head dropping below the heart. Lift the heart toward the pelvis. And then walk your feet forward, Uttanasana. Climb all the way up. Arms to the sky. Hands come down. Bring your palms together in Samastitihi. And just have a moment to just feel into your breath, feel into your body. Notice what 20 minutes of yoga does for you. How do you feel? It's, of course, we could do lots more. We could pause here. Just notice what just a little bit of embodiment in your day offers your mind, your sense of well-being, your sense of embodiment. Okay, let's take our feet wide on the mat. Come down for a squat, a wide squat. Turn your toes out. Drop into your sit bones. Let them move toward the ground. Spread out the bones of your feet. Stand down. Find your breath. We're going to do Parsvottanasana on each side. So one more standing pose. Elbow on your knee. Stretch your arm overhead and enjoy the work of the legs. Ground yourself. Feel the 2 feet finding the earth. Give into that earth and then rebound. Full breaths here. Notice that back thigh. See if you can move it or move your back thigh back. Rise all the way up. Take a little bit of a transition between the 2 sides. Standing star. Exhale into a goddess. Just feel those legs ground you. Arms coming up. One more time. Drop your awareness, your energy. Everything's coming down. And rising back up. Turn your feet the other way. Parsvottanasana on this side. Bend your knee. Stretch your arm overhead. Feel into the work of the legs here. So drop your energy. Push your feet down into the earth. Notice if your pelvis wants to push forward. Keep that thigh bone, your right thigh bone moving back. Extend through your both side bodies. So it's often we kind of overarch one of our sides. Feel both of our sides. Breathing well. Ready? Push up, standing straight. Turn your feet straight and find your way down into Vajrayana. Start to feel the inversion here. You can always put your head on a block or on the ground. Okay, so feeling into wide legs, rounded legs. Try not to hyperextend your knees. See if you can keep that feeling that you are supporting with your legs instead of just leaning into your legs. Maybe your head goes all the way to the ground. Maybe your head is on 3 blocks. Maybe that your head doesn't go there at all and you put your hands on your blocks. So any which way you are, breathe here. Enjoy your head below your heart. Heel toe your feet in a little bit wider. Last of the challenging in our legs, come to a squat. So we're a little closer, elbows inside knees, round into your feet. 4 corners rooting. Extend your heart. Maybe extend your arms somewhere beyond hands to heart. You decide. Finding breath. Hands down, lift hips, last dog pose, turn back to the front of your mat, extend through your spine. Breathing well here. Let's come forward into a plank. Full breaths in, full breaths out. And then find the ground lying on your belly. Take your arms anywhere you want, any kind of back bend that makes you feel good and alive. And then relax. Come up onto all fours. And eventually find your way into Shavasana or into Child's Pose. So we'll start moving into some restoratives now. So you might even want to start here with some bolsters or blankets underneath your chest for Child's Pose. If that feels like something you'd like to do, we're going to be here for just a handful of breaths, so enjoy. Let's go ahead and come out of there. And lie on your side. Just have a little bit of stretching to do here. Then we're going to move into some breath work. But first, let's just lie on our right side. If you're on your left, stay there. There's no biggie. We're going to do both. Grab onto the top of at the front of your ankle and stretch your quad. Descend the tailbone toward your knees, lift the pubic bone toward your heart. Let your head relax. You can always put a block or a blanket under your head instead of your arm if that feels better to your body. Relax. Let's go ahead and find our way onto the other side. So you can just roll over if that's comfy. Lying on your side, grab onto the front of your ankle and stretch your quad. Tailbone releases toward the knee. If you can't reach your ankle, you can wrap a strap around your foot. Let's relax your legs. Come pushing yourself up to sit. Going to do pigeon pose. So one might think that in order to do some breath work on a ball, that the only things you need to kind of open up in your body is your rib cage and maybe your shoulders, which we've done. But also, you know, opening up the pelvis in all the ways that it can open is very helpful. Now, I'm going to use 2 blankets today, just because that's what I'm feeling like I need. Maybe you need a bolster, maybe you need no blankets, maybe you're using a block. So whatever feels right to your body. If you want to do reverse pigeon pose, by all means, come to reverse pigeon pose. You can have some supports of some blocks, lengthen through your spine, square hips, and find your way to rest in this posture. Having your forehead resting on something, whether it's your hands or some blocks, can be very helpful to tell your nervous system that all is well. Now start to focus not only on the surrender, but once you get things squared away, literally squaring your hips away, see if you can regain your awareness of that breath that we did in the beginning. Breathing into our belly, our ribs, touch the collarbones, and then exhale. This pose has an added opportunity to feel the back body breathing well. I'm back up and switch sides. Reverse pigeon is always an option. Figure out what kind of support you need in your body today. As you settle into the posture that's right, feel the squareness of your hips. See what you can do to surrender through your pelvis. Let this posture start to take you into the land of restoratives. When our head is supported like this, it's very nurturing to our nervous system. Start to feel that slowness of the breath, filling up the space that the diaphragm takes, filling up the ribs. Slow exhale, relaxing your shoulders. Out of there. Hopefully your breath is feeling nice and steady now. So we're going to take our ball and have it inflated to a place where you feel like it's a good spot, and you can always inflate or deflate as we go. We're going to lie on our right side. Props. You're going to lie on your right side, and we're going to do a couple of different positions with this. Grab a block to put underneath your head. For your support of your skull. So just have the ball underneath your ribs for a moment, kind of close to your armpits. We're gonna move this in a few different spots. And now when there's nothing, we've done this before where we've kind of rolled back and forth, and we've done this before where we've kind of held the hands on the rib cage and take a deep breath. Hold it for a moment and then relax your ribs down toward the ball. So if any of those appeal to you, either kind of like rolling a little bit on that ball or finding that freeze frame of a big wide rib cage and then melting the exhale, then by all means, you can also just relax and breathe here. Make sure that your arm that's down on the ground, your right arm, is comfortable. Focus on your breath. Where's the breath moving? We're going to do 3 sides, 3 places on each side rather. So let's move the ball down a little bit so it's on more the bottom, mid-bottom part of our rib cage. And the same thing, if you want to move it all and roll on that ball, or if you want to bring your hands onto your ribs, take a big inhale, hold it for a moment, and then we deflate the ribs and let that exhale come. If the ball is uncomfortable, it should be kind of slightly uncomfortable, right? This is a weird thing to do. But if you find like, oh, I just can't relax, or it's kind of poking you in your floating ribs in a weird way, then you can either adjust where the ball is or adjust how inflated the ball is. You can deflate it a little bit more if need be. Focus on your breath. Let the ball give you feedback. And in the last position, we're going to take the ball into our side waist. You can kind of allow the ball to kind of be toward the front of your body a little bit more. So you're kind of diving into the diaphragm, into the psoas, into the guts a little bit, and let your body breathe here. Be patient, slow the breath down. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to accomplish. Just be in the feeling state of your breath. All right, come out of there. We're going to go to the other side. So come to lie down on your left. Ball is underneath your rib cage, kind of higher in your rib cage. Feel free to adjust anything that needs adjusting. Feel free to move a little bit and rock to and fro on that rib cage if you want. Feel free to be still on the ball and take a deep breath. Hold it for a moment and then exhale and let your body melt Now you might feel differently on this side, A, because we've already done one side, so things are already loosening. But also B, the side might just be different. We have two sides to our lung fields, two sides to our rib cage, our musculature. So why should we assume one side should be the same? Breathe into the ball. Just start to let your body relax. Maybe close your eyes. Focus on the feedback that's being given to your breath. And then when you're ready, move the ball down a little bit. Same thing applies if you want to be mobile and kind of rock a little bit on that ball. You can do that. If you want to have your hands on your rib cage and have a big inflation and then a deflation, you can do that. If you want to just relax, you can do that. Enjoy the feedback that the ball is giving to your lungs, to your diaphragm. Let's move this down to our final spot. Sometimes it's helpful to have the ball instead of right in your side waist to kind of move it slightly forward. So it's kind of moving into your guts just a little bit. And again, you can rock back, you can rock forward. You can have your hand on your waist and breathe deeply and hold. And then relax into the ball. But let it kind of feed your core a little bit. So your psoas, your obliques, your iliacus, so many muscles are impacted by this. See if you can relax into the breath. All right, and then the last position that with the ball we're gonna take is right underneath our sternum. So as you come to lie down on your belly, put the ball right underneath your sternum. You can put your ball in your belly, but for today, just in the sternum. Put your hands under your head. And of course, this is going to be a little bit of a feedback loop into the lungs. So let your breath come. And let it go. Right. And then relax that. Come sit on your heels for a moment. And enjoy your breath. So we're going to move into Supta Baddha Konasana. So try to do this in your favorite way. Okay, so we're going to I have a bolster. I'm lucky that I have a bolster. I'm not sure everybody has one. So, but create a little bit of a ramp so you can have one block on the middle, one block on low height, put some blankets over that or a bolster over that. You can have bolsters or blankets or blocks for underneath your knees. Then I'm gonna grab my 2 pillows from my couch to put under my arms. And then I'm gonna grab my sweater to put underneath my head for a little pillow. So I'm creating as good of a nest as I can possibly get. I'm sitting in front of my bolster or your blankets, whatever you've got, soles of the feet together. And take the support underneath our knees. If you have some support underneath your arms or head, whatever feels good to your body. So the important thing in this posture is to have enough support where your body feels like it's in a little bit of a nest. There's not, you can have a sense of openness for sure. You want to have your legs open, your pelvis, your inner thighs, your belly, your chest, your throat. You want all these places to be available and open. But you also want to feel support from below. So you want to feel like your legs are supported, your arms are supported, your head, your spine, so that your nervous system feels the feedback of ease, surrender, support. Now we just did a lot of work to open up the diaphragm and the ribs and the lungs. So find your way into some beautiful breath here where we expand our diaphragm well. We expand our rib cage well. And the exhales can be slow and steady. might feel super comfortable and want to stay here and not change position. Or you might want to transition to leg up the wall pose. So when your choice. So restoratives are all about the nervous system. So if this is feeding your nervous system well, stay put. And if you also want to do an inversion, you can come to a wall and again have any level of support underneath you that you want, where you can have a blanket or two underneath you and have that close to a wall where you can have another blanket for your head or a pillow. You can go higher than one blanket if you want for leg up the wall pose. So however you choose to do it, you lie on your side with your butt against the wall and then swing your legs up the wall. And you know, there's so many occasions where an inversion or a restorative pose of some kind is useful. So it doesn't have to just be in the yoga practice. You can do leg up the wall pose in the evening, or Supta Baddha Konasana in the evening before you go to bed when you're winding down. This can be a wonderful adjunct to a day spent on your feet. So again, settle into whatever posture you are in. Make sure your body is in a happy place. Take time to let your body receive the position it's in. Give the feedback to your nervous system as well. Whenever you're ready to transition to Shavasana, you don't have to. You can stay right where you are. But if you'd like to have some time flat on your back and some support underneath your knees, and make that adjustment. Change whatever it is that you need to change. If you're at all cold, make sure you get warm. Body set on sync. Surrender. To focus on your breath again, feeling that expansion. On your exhales, let your body melt into the ground. Invite some movement if you want some movement in the body. And eventually find your way onto your side. And very slowly, very carefully lift yourself up to sit. When we transition out of deep work, we want to go slow. As you maybe use your hands to help you come to sit up, take your time. And once you are seated, maybe you can see the rain, maybe you can hear the rain. Let's just take a moment to receive the gift of water. Let's offer our energy outward
To another, send your loving kindness. Namaste. Enjoy the rain, everyone.